Hello, welcome. It is, I believe, Sunday, 9:40 p.m. where I am. We've already gotten our closure for the day. We're just looking at Bitcoin, just giving our analysis in today. We did end up seeing that pullback that I was talking about yesterday. Predicted that we just go down to range lows, maybe test like the top range of back here, which we did end up getting. We got about about a 3% move. I believe I somewhat predicted something around that. But yeah, so we did end up seeing that. So now that we have had that pullback occurred, it's whether we get continuation on that pullback or we do end up seeing it. It's starting to close down, and then we start to get our push back up to the upside to maybe 32, maybe 36. Then we'll see how it plays out. Honestly, just to start the analysis, if we go into the 12-hour time frame, see the price is now like pushing next to the 55 EMA, which is normally pretty strong support. We got this big bounce down. We ended up getting support on the 55. So it's just been a strong resistance just in general. These moving averages tend to be, especially the larger ones like the 55. If we then throw down a Fibonacci retracement, take it from the swing low to the swing high up here, we'll see we get our 50% retracement right there, which is normally where all pullbacks tend up ending. If we normally go past the 50% retracement, it normally does end up being a reversal. I'm not calling a reversal right now. That's just kind of like the general like rule of thumb for that. But if we do end up seeing closures below this, we'll probably end up going to the 61.8, which is like straight bottom 28. That's probably where this pullback will like end like most definitely if we do end up seeing continuation. But of course, just remember any closures below like 27 or like range lows right here, that will end up propel us forward to like maybe like 25 or so next to like this like the 1.618, like probably there somewhere. So we just need to make sure we do not see closures below these range lows. That's definitely certain. We cannot be getting that. But yeah, that's definitely ended. The pullback, at least in my opinion, I believe has been ended. Well, at least should be in the next few hours, maybe day or so. If we also go to the daily, throw on the Gaussian channel, we should be getting support on the top range right here, which has provided support. That ended up this little like bear run pullback thing right there. That ended up ending that, and ended up propelling us forward. Of course, Gaussian channel is always a great indicator, gives us support and everything. One thing that we should go over is the setup on the 1 hour. It is the 1 hour stochastic momentum. Currently, the pivot is 28,646. Right now, we're trading at like 28,646 is the price. We're like 28,551. It's probably likely that we do end up closing above this, and if not, in the next hour, the pivot will then move down. So it's like almost certain that we're going to see a cross soon. And of course, we are below near the 15 area, which is normally extreme oversold areas. So it's extremely likely that we get a push to the upside, or at least just some bearish relief at that point. Can then cross-reference the statistics. If we change the properties, let's just go to my usual capital that I use for my strategies like that. So net profit over the last, I believe, 2.5 years is about 155%. So of course we don't get these setups that often, but when they do come, they're extremely effective. At least like they're very effective in that they have a pretty high win rate. So we have 77.78% win rate, which is about 80%. That's an extremely good win rate. 3.289 profit factors. We profit about 3.3 times what we do lose. So that means that the losers are normally pretty small and the winners are big compared to those losers. So if we let's look at the average trade. Average winning trade is almost 2%, so that's perfect. So if we then take it from the stochastic momentum price, not the price currently, but assuming that in the next couple of closures, the pivot will come down and we will get the cross bet about that area. So we just say 650 right there, about 2% on top of price action, where that put us. Like 29. That's about the area we should be looking at that. We can then cross-reference the 12-hour stochastic pivots. If we see a closure above 29,334, that'll then flip the momentum back to the upside. So assuming that 1 hour setup does end up playing out, so if we get like that 2% move or whatever, then we'll be getting extremely close to that pivot to flip the stochastic momentum, and then we'll start going further up to the upside because of that. That's just important to pay attention to. If we take a look at our cluster algorithm setup that we identified, I believe, earlier this week on like Wednesday or so, we did end up getting our exit signal. Of course, we did produce that, I believe. I predicted like a 10.5% move. We only ended up getting a 6.6%. Sorry, 9.66% move, which is extremely well. At least that was a pretty good iteration. If you would have just followed the video and just bought wherever I said, yeah, you would have produced a pretty good return off of that. Another setup that I identified is going to be happening soon is a closure. Is when we get a closure above the Gaussian channel. Now, this hasn't happened yet. I'm assuming that we do end up. I'll probably talk about this further, but this does hint that we're going to be like once we get this move up from the 1 hour stock setup, and when the stochastic momentum gets flipped, it's very likely that we'll go all the way up to 32. But I'll talk about that probably tomorrow. Just for now, I'll probably just end the video just checking out the momentums on all the different time frames. Take maybe a 2-day. 2 days should be flipping if we close above like 28 to 28. Take the daily. Daily's pivoted to the upside, and it will be as long as we close above 28.1, which is probably extremely likely. 12-hour downside should be flipping up soon. 6-hour downside should be. Nah, that will probably won't flip up till a little while. 4-hour down with expanding volatility. 3-hour down. The 2 hours, yeah, that's also down, but it is getting into the oversold area, so we should be looking for at least a short-term pullback, like we were talking about. The pullback on this move, not like if we're talking about the higher time frames, a pullback would be a move to the downside. If we're talking like the 1 or 2 hour, pullback would then be to the upside. 1 hour should be flipping like extremely soon, so just looking at this, the 1 hour should flip, 2 hour, whatever. Basically, the meaning of this video is that this pullback has ended. If you do want to get into a nice buy position right now, I would say it's extremely high probability that we do see an upside potential. If we see a lot of upside potential after this, I would assume we would work up our ways to the range highs from right here, then further up to right here, 32, and then we'll see if that will be a potential stopping point, or if then we'll continue to about 36. But there's really not much to talk about. It's just a boring Sunday. There'll be a lot more setups to cover tomorrow on Monday. But overall, that should be it. Thank you for watching.